Hi, I'm Donna Rosenberg from Jameson Legal, and I am Director and Head of In-House for UK and Europe. I'm here today with Anne-Valerie Heuschen. She is General Counsel International at Bandwidth. I put together the series of these interviews based on my time in recruitment, where I've been asked a lot of questions throughout my career, but in the last 4 years, as I've moved into in-house recruitment, I have conversations with lawyers and legal counsel, lawyers who are looking to transition into in-house, or legal counsel who are in-house, speaking about careers and getting into strategic and or management positions. I felt that by speaking to a variety of different senior lawyers from a variety of different backgrounds, that it might create content out there, but it would also show that everyone's journey is different and no career may be the same. Thanks for joining us today, Anne-Valerie. Anne-Valerie is located in Brussels at Bandwidth. Anne spent 13 years at Voxbone, rising from legal counsel to general counsel before moving to Bandwidth as General Counsel International. Her position is global outside of US and Canada. Bandwidth are a Tier 1 network-based API platform provider for voice and messaging services. Thank you so much for joining us today, Anne-Valerie. It would be great to hear a little bit more about you.
Thank you very much, Donna, for this invitation. So, as you said, my name is Anne-Valerie Heuschen. I'm Belgian. I was born in Eupen, which is a little town in a German-speaking community of Belgium, where I was born from a German-speaking father and a French-speaking mother. I studied law in Belgium with an Erasmus in Spain, Valencia, and I'm holding an LLM in European laws from Saarbrücken in Germany. And I've been also later doing a mini MBA at McGill in Montreal, in Canada. I'm married with my French husband that I met during my Erasmus in Spain. And I have two little ones, Emma, 7 years old, and Florian, 3 years old. Today, I'm General Counsel International for Bandwidth. I'm reporting into the General Counsel into Bandwidth. So we are issued from the merge of the two companies, Voxbone and Bandwidth. So Bandwidth acquired Voxbone in November 2020. So the team structure is we have 7 people in the US reporting into the General Counsel, and reporting into me, we have 13 people from Bandwidth International, meaning the old Voxbone team called now Bandwidth International. What we do is essentially everything what has a touch point with legal. So from the pure corporate work, from the compliance work, the compliance more in the KYC sense, but also as a public listed company in the SEC legislation, into regulatory, telecommunication regulatory work, legal work as well, everything what has to do with contracts, from carriers contract, procurement contracts, customer contract, and in general supporting the product team to really build the product. So we also have within the legal team a little specialty, which is the cooperation with law enforcement authority, because as a telecommunication, regulated company, we also have the obligation to provide a full cooperation with those law enforcement authorities, and that's part of the legal team.
Fantastic. What was it that appealed to you about the topic of the rise of the modern GC?
When I joined initially as legal counsel, and I made an active choice of not choosing to go for a private practice, as I had the opportunities came together. It would have really helped me much. I chose this in-house role by the fact that this was an international position, and that was really what attracted me. But for all the rest, I actually discovered really what it was on the job. And so back then, thinking about it, for me, it would really have helped to have a more further information of what it really meant. I'm not saying that it would have changed my decision, but at least being informed before being on a job. And so back then, there was little information about it. So I really felt that if I could be contributing to that today, it would be great.
Thank you. And talking about the team at Bandwidth, when recruiting, besides skills, what other qualities do you feel are also equally important?
Well, definitely the business acumen and the business understanding, because out there we have many great lawyers that can produce deep and accurate legal analysis with laying out all possibilities. But then when it comes to advise practically a business, quantify the risk of each approach for the specific business and acting really as the real business partner to the business, and actually not so much as the lawyer, as how we are picturing ourselves as lawyers, some are lost because we are not speaking with our peers. We are really speaking with engineers, with product manager, with the CFO. And in a business, we don't need to do legal theory. We really need to give practical legal advice that the person can take and then further build the product.
Fantastic.
There would be an additional probably point that I would be also looking at would be not probably, that I am looking at, which is the mindset of the person, because that person needs to be a team player. And in many cases, initially when a legal person is coming into a project work, it's like, oh, here comes the trouble. They're going to block our project, which is really what the legal person needs to bring. They're not going to block the project. They're going to help to build a strong product, a strong service. And this team player aspect is a mindset. That person really needs to come as a business partner. And obviously company cultural fit is key as well.
Absolutely. And you talked about commercial acumen as well. And just out of interest, is that a skill that someone, can build and acquire through experience of working in-house? Or do you think it's a little bit more instinctive in an individual to be able to understand at its core, how a business commercially operates?
I really think this is something that can be built over time, but obviously the person needs to be ready to learn it, because this is something that with experience and with working with other teams, you get to know really what is working or not within an organization. So with the help of your peers, then really of your legal team peers, this is something that you can learn.
Great. How have you nurtured talent in others? And we're talking more about the softer skills here. So it could be coaching, someone's professional development, emotional intelligence, those types of things.
So I think nurturing a talent, that's really, in any team members, that's really one of the key elements of the management. And that's one of the things that, for me at least, is really important that we are taking time to do it. In order to do that, though, there is a whole work that needs to be done in really building a trust relationship with the feedback is received and given in a constructive manner. And this needs to be a two-way discussion. And then obviously also to listen to what the person wants and aspire to, which is essential. And then once that is there, then helping the person to grow and to nurture the talent, as you say, is something that is possible with the person, obviously, because the person needs to be part of it. And how I would do it is that once this is there and we identify what can be done to help, then actually to have a real plan. And the real plan is, if I feel I can contribute to nurture that specific talent, then I would be doing myself. But if I cannot, then I would be looking to find a coach externally, internally, and involved HR, the people services, in order to get the good advices, the training, for example, that could be helping the person. And the key, obviously, is that such work is an ongoing work. It's not something that is discussed once at a yearly evaluation meeting at the beginning, end of the year, and that's it. This is really an ongoing work.
Fantastic. It's always in that comes up in conversation as well that I have with lawyers, and particularly I always say to people that it's a two-way street in an interview, and if there's characteristic that you can bring into the team that you want to be developed, because it's instinctive for you to, continue to bring out that characteristic. That, it's always good to explore what qualities your manager will have to ensure that they're going to nurture that as well.
Indeed, yes.
Great. With respect to risk, what do you feel is the key to really understanding this?
That's a very good question. So, as a general counsel, you have many, many hats, and you need to be risk aware. But then that means also that the risk can take many, many shapes, and depending specifically of which aspects of the business you are thinking. So one element, in my view, is definitely the fact that a legal risk may not be a business risk. For example, due to the very limited impact that a legal risk might have on your business. So if then the legal risk is also a business risk, then the question and the tricky part of this is going to the quantification of the realization of that specific risk. And that's something that is really key to understand, that taking the 50-50 approach and saying to the business, well, you have 50% chance that actually this risk is going to realize, and 50% that is not going to realize, is not really going to help any business decision. And so that's when the lawyer needs to be really the business leader and to take also a risk in this quantification.
Thank you. How important is legal to develop to the development and growth of a company?
I'm going to give an answer that is probably biased because I'm part of a company and I'm part of the legal team. But for me, this is really key to the development and the growth of the company, because it's really a business functions that helps any company to grow a product, to develop a product, but that also is involved in any sales relationship at higher level as well, with C-levels, that is acting as an advisor, and that is helping people to really understand what should be done or should not be done, on legally speaking. And yeah, this is a business function as any other.
Great, thank you. What advice can you offer a lawyer who is contemplating a career in-house or has transitioned in-house, adding value at the highest level?
Probably be risk aware, but don't be risk adverse. Be a business leader, but not a simple lawyer. Be ready to navigate in a fast evolving environment where the laws are often outdated and the frameworks unclear, especially if you're joining the tech industry. Be also ready definitely to go outside of your comfort zone. As a GC, you will be asked to have position on a lot of matter that will be outside of what could be qualified as a legal function. But definitely do not hesitate to take this step, as it is really passionating as a career and you will never get bored.
Fantastic. It's been really helpful. Thank you for all of your insight today. I guess if anybody has any additional questions that they would like to ask me or yourself, please don't hesitate to get in contact with me via my email address. And also, if there is any heads of associate general counsels or general counsels that would like to participate in the interviews, I'd be delighted to share some more information. So please don't hesitate to get in contact as well. Before we close up, I just wanted to give a bit more information about Jameson Legal. We're an international company and we are specialists. So we recruit to law firms, professional services, industry and commerce, and for legal, company secretary, risk and compliance positions. We have 23 consultants who sit within the business. I think that's all for today, Anne-Valerie. I just wanted to say again, thank you very much for your time. It is appreciated. There will be more of these interviews, so please look out for them. There will be more information to be shared. And again, thanks, and I hope you have a great day.
Thank you very much, and have as well a great day. Bye-bye.
Bye.